Hey, I'm Seth, and I unbox pretty much anything, and today I'm unboxing the brand new Apple iPhone SE 2020. As with every other video on this channel, if you see something that you like that we're unboxing, I've left an affiliate link in the top of the description so you can grab one for yourself. In this case, we've got the Apple iPhone SE, so if you want to grab this in the red colorway or whatever colorway is available, I think there's black and white, make sure to click that link. But I gotta be honest, I'm pretty excited about this little phone, even though right now I'm using an iPhone 11 Pro Max as my main phone. And it's not just because this phone comes in bright red, which is my favorite color. It's because this phone is actually only priced at $399. $399 for a brand new iPhone is kind of insane, and when you get a phone this full featured, it's definitely worth the money. So why don't we start ripping off the plastic and see how this iPhone actually looks in person, because I have not seen this phone in person yet. Well, I guess I have seen an iPhone 8, which looks pretty much exactly the same, so it's almost like I've seen it, but I'm still excited. Of course, as with all Apple products, you've got this nice little tab so you can easily rip off the plastic. Ooh, that came off so nicely, that's crazy. Okay, here's the box itself in its matte white beauty. On the front of the box, you've got this nice, almost 3D image of the iPhone. You can actually feel it and feel the home button and feel the earpiece right there. That's pretty cool. You've got sort of a metallic red Apple logo on the top and a metallic red iPhone logo on the side. Of course, because this is the product red version of the iPhone SE. As for the actual iPhone configuration that I grabbed the 64 gigabyte version, which is technically the lowest end version, and this is the one that costs $399. If you spend $50 more, which is $449, you can get the version that has 128 gigabytes, and if you spend $100 more than that, which is $549, you can get the 256 gig version. I just went for the 64 gigabyte version because Apple's cloud storage is pretty decent, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to use this phone for yet. I think I might actually give it to my dad, and he honestly just doesn't need the space. So let's pop this open and see how it looks. Beautiful. Look at that. Designed by Apple in California. Whew! And I love that little red accent at the top. I'm going to try and not look at the phone. I think this has something to do with Product Red. Yep. Product Red right there. In partnership with Red, Apple will contribute a portion of your iPhone purchase to the Global Fund to support HIV and AIDS programs and help deliver an AIDS-free generation. Now, what I've actually read on Apple's website is that they've switched this up to now support COVID-19 relief, but I would check Apple's website because I'm sure they have more information about that. In addition to the Product Red pamphlet, you've also got this instruction manual that is just two-sided and it tells you what the buttons do on the phone. And you've also got a SIM removal tool right there. Some battery information, and your Apple stickers. Very nice. Kind of wish they were red, but it is what it is. If they were red, I would steal them from my dad and keep them because I think red stickers are sick. Okay, here it is, the phone itself in all its glory. I'm so excited to check this phone out. So let's pull it out of the box. Oh man, that red looks awesome. Crazy. I know it's still got plastic on it, but we'll get to it in a second. First, we'll check out what else we've got inside the box. We've got a wall wart right here. And then we've also got some earpods, some wired earpods. Unfortunately, this phone no longer has a headphone jack, so you're gonna have to use the lightning connector with your wired earphones. It is what it is, but not a big deal. You can always get AirPods if you need to. And then you've also got your USB to lightning connector, which you can plug into your wall wart right there. I'm not gonna charge up this phone with this charger. I already have a charger. Like I said, I might give it to someone, so I'm not sure if I'm going to need to open up these little pieces. Don't need this stuff. What I was trying to say is that I don't need this stuff right now, so I'm going to put it on the ground and we'll get onto the phone itself. So here it is in all its bright red glory with this nice little plastic tag on the bottom, just like on the box. Let's peel this off really quickly. Look at that. And it's so thin too. Compared to my iPhone 11 Pro, this is a thin boy. On the rear side of the phone, you've got this nice glass back with an Apple logo that's now centered. It's also metallic silver. You've got the Product Red text there near the bottom. You've got one camera, which is actually 12 megapixels, and we'll get more into that a little bit later. And you've also got wireless charging, which is great, which I'm so excited about. And that red glass, man, it's just like staring into my soul. I love it. It's sick. I wish my phone was red, but it's green, so it is what it is. It's a beautiful phone, it really is. They did a really great job with this, and the build quality, from what I can tell, seems great. You've got a metallic red metal border surrounding the outside of the phone. Like I said, there's no headphone jack, just that lightning connector on the bottom. It is what it is. On the front of the phone, you've kind of got your throwback to older iPhones. You've got your Touch ID home button right there. You've got your camera at the top and these gigantic bezels, which you can't actually see when the phone is off, but they're there. Don't worry. So why don't I turn this phone on and see how it looks. While I'm setting up this phone, we can talk about some of the tech specs that go into this phone. The first is that it has an A13 Bionic chip, which is actually the same chip that's used in the iPhone 11 Pro. That means that this phone is still going to be super fast even though it's in the body of an older iPhone, and even though it just has one camera lens, it still will have some portrait mode features. I don't remember my password for the Wi-Fi. So while this is still setting up, we can talk about the display. It's got a 4.7-inch Retina HD screen, which is pretty much standard. It's definitely a smaller screen than you're probably used to unless you have one of the older iPhones. I think for a lot of people this size might actually be better because it's more accessible. You can actually touch every part of the screen with your thumb. Of course, this iPhone has a True Tone display, and it's also got a haptic home button instead of having a physical home button, which means that this phone is much more water resistant. So here it is, looking all good. I just love this color, man. In my opinion, the best part about iPhones is how accessible they are. They're so easy to use, you have access to so many different apps, and in the case of this iPhone, the iPhone SE 2020, it's pretty inexpensive too. And this phone should last you a while. My dad currently uses the SE that came out a couple years ago, which is kind of like the upgraded iPhone 5, and he still uses it. In fact, to be fair, he used the Motorola Razr from 2003 to 2013, I think. I was pretty much almost through college by the time he stopped using it. It's kind of ridiculous, but he uses phones forever, and the best part about this phone is that it's inexpensive and it will last you a long time, like 5 years. Obviously, this phone does not have Face ID, and instead it uses Touch ID, which I actually prefer because it's faster and you can kind of use it in bed while you're not looking at the phone. But for a lot of people, that might be a deal breaker. I think for people who actually buy this phone though, it won't matter that much. But back to the camera on this phone, this has a 12 megapixel single lens shooter. It's actually pretty solid even though it's just a single lens. In regular to good lighting, the photos on this phone actually look really great. In lower lighting situations, they're still a little grainy. It's obviously not as good as something like the iPhone 11 Pro, which has 3 lenses to sort of supplement that image, but it still doesn't look bad. The best part about this camera though is the video quality, because it can actually record in 4K, which for a $399 device is pretty impressive. The front-facing camera on the phone is 7 megapixels, and it's pretty decent. It's pretty much exactly what you would expect. And I've got to say that I'm genuinely blown away by the build quality, the processing power, and the camera that you get for just $399. Obviously base price, but still, $399 is pretty insane for having a new iPhone. If I were to get this iPhone for myself, which I probably would never do, but if I had to, I honestly don't think I would miss that much. I think I would miss the camera, I think I would miss the size of the screen, but that might be it. I don't really use a lot of processor-intensive apps on my phone now, and this phone actually has the same processor, so even if I did, it would still work great. This is really a great phone, and it's genuinely a surprising value. So if you want the iPhone ecosystem without spending $1,000+ on like the super high-end phones, this is the way to go. But at this point, I would love to know your thoughts on the iPhone SE 2020 and whether you would ever consider grabbing one for yourself or whether you did grab one for yourself. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.